It is time for 3D speed, and it's a wet one here at the Hungaroring. After a dry qualifying, which left me pretty far back. So,
I have no idea what to do for pressures.
well, I'm a little bit annoyed
You're not the only one.
about... I'm a little bit annoyed about the rain because of... As an admin, it's kind of frustrating that this keeps happening because it's supposed to be a 10% chance to rain, and we've had rain at Monza. We had wet, dry stuff at Barcelona. So it's a bit annoying in that regard. But it does give me a chance to possibly do better. I am going to leave it on brake duct, or brake pad 1, I think. That is always the question when it gets wet. It's just wet, but it is going to be heavy rain for the first 10 minutes before it starts to drop down.
The air temp is 20 Celsius. All right, Michael,
Does open
are you
up
ready?
some goals
Watch for the
because,
lights.
of course, I qualified 20th place in a 24-car field. I am slow here at Hungaroring. And hopefully that opens the door for me to do some things. Top silver car is up in like 6th place. That is Zachary Martin. That's Mark Sutherland taking his grid spot back.
Green, green, green.
On your right.
Rather dislike this
Hold your line.
start finish line. I like this track in general,
Still
but
there.
the start for Hungaroring.
Hold your line. Still there. You're in the middle.
And I've been hit. I've been hit.
Hold your line. Clear right.
Someone didn't adjust their
Yellow
braking
flag.
point.
Forget about that. It'll probably just polish out.
Left side.
Big
Clear all
damage.
round.
We'll see how the car handles. That'll almost certainly be a penalty as I rejoin ahead of Dom Turcotte, who will undoubtedly be passing me.
Start's okay.
Oh,
Now find your groove.
I forgot to knock the traction control a little bit.
Car right.
Yellow flag.
Clear right.
There's an incident in turn 5.
And that is
You're locking your fronts into
Michael
turn 4.
Landry, who I think was the pole sitter off the track. So I'm not the only one. Regret using the dry setup a little bit just because we had tuned it to be pretty front responsive. Some Bentley. Oh! Turcotte giving Connor Costanini. I'm sorry, Connor, I keep fucking your name up. Both on commentary and here. Also, somebody joined really late because we actually picked up a 25th car. That is a McLaren of Martin Matasma recovering from a spin. I completely have forgotten the
E23
start. Not that it really matters.
Yellow flag. Watch out.
Bear than
White
any
flag, mate. There's an incident
ill
in
will.
turn 1.
Just because I mean, I broke at like 200 meters, which is needless
Right
to say.
side. Clear right.
You know, it's early for that turn, but it's wet. You gotta adapt.
There's a white flag. Incident in turn 2.
Oh!
Right side.
No,
Clear
Ayrton!
right.
That's almost certainly a penalty. He got a similar one to that at Monza too. Oh, Scott, please. Oh no, that's my teammate Ayrton Arsenault. I can't back you up on this, Ayrton. That's just bad driving. Not the spin. I have no idea how he ended up sideways, but you can't do the recovery like that. There was clearly a car there. I'm not going to report it because I'm not going to report a teammate, but you know, it's likely to, it'll for sure get a penalty if it does get reported. And if it ends up on the commentary, it will be reported because
Yellow flag.
we do that. Robert Arzumanian, I think he might have been the last one to join because I didn't see him.
We think P6 has gone off in turn 14. There's a white flag.
Keep my eyeballs pinched. Doesn't look like there's anybody here. Also, to be honest, I don't know where the turn.
The leader has just done a 156.
Could have been Arzumian for all I know, although him up in 6th place does seem a little bit weird. He is quick here, though. So Arzumian recently discovered that he was using stability control, or assist, I forget what it's called. But it really slows you down. Although it does make your car way safer. But it,
P17. Yellow flag.
These tires are not good on temperature,
White flag.
but bad on pressure. Car does feel a little unstable in a couple of specific areas. So that is Michael Landry ahead of me, and he's been in for a pit stop already. He had a bad Monza too in his 3D Speed debut. Very fast, just has to avoid the trouble. As I have Arzumanian on my tail.
Your front brakes are getting a bit hot.
They are not. And it will be going dry.
The guy behind's really
At the 30-minute mark,
now
so
0.7. Bit quicker than us.
My plan right now is going to be to go as deep as possible. I kind of wish I had gone heavier on the fuel load now than 45 liters at the start. Although fuel mileage is a little bit down in the wet as I spin off. Let's go up to 6 traction control. This car is a mess, but of course I don't know if it's a mess because of the damage or if it's a mess because of the wet. That's kind of the problem.
New fastest lap for Higgs, 155.74.
That Higgs fastest lap. Looks like car 28 is in the lead. I don't know who that is. Down to 18th I go. I appear to be in last on the track. So that suggests that everyone behind me has been in for a pit stop. Yeah, I can see Arsenal at 19th place.
Keep it neat and tidy.
So
we still might get something out of this. P18.
He didn't look super strong. The Porsches in general didn't look super strong here. But they do have a tendency to deliver in the wet. So they're not really racing anyone beyond Arzumanian right now, and I will probably fix myself up at the pit stop, so chances that I have any idea of who I'm facing is kind of low.
The gap in front has increased. It's now about 6.4
almost
seconds.
a minute long pit stop at this point. I think with the forecast, the option to go for the undercut is not a good one today. Also, the little extra traction control has kind of stabilized the car. So
There's an incident in turn 10. Yellow flag.
the flag is ahead of me.
White flag,
Might
mate.
be a spot to gain. And it is, it's Silvio Cortez. Yeah, he'll outrace me.
The leader's just done a 155.02.
Well, I have gone forward, albeit
The car behind's pitting now.
Not much. Somebody's going to the pits. Car behind is pitting. Doesn't make a lot of sense at all. Unless we have lost a car, so somebody has called it a day. It's Ayrton in the pits again. It's not looking good for him.
P18.
Flat lap time. I have no idea what the lap times need to be. None whatsoever right now. I know that Turcotte put up like a 158 when he was ahead of me, but like if that's his fastest lap, then that's something I'm not going to get to. But I have no idea if that was a good lap or a bad lap for him. Hemian up ahead. And a stop-go penalty for Ayrton Arsenault. No, Ayrton. No! Ayrton was doing so well here. He was like threatening for a top 10.
Yellow flag.
For car
There's an incident
14.
in turn 10.
Is Costanini. Car 14. I don't know who that is. It's Tom Waz, who is ahead of me.
Fastest lap for Higgs.
Always a little embarrassing
154.86.
when Waz is ahead of me. It's Cliff Hemian.
Incident in turn 14.
Off. Pick up a spot over Waz when he goes for his drive-through for track cuts. No new penalty there. That's just the game telling Tom he's got 2 laps to serve. I have no idea when I would serve it if I were him. We're in a bit of a weird spot here with the changing weather. Probably change it. Probably actually I'd serve it immediately because the time you want to waste in the pit lane is now, because this is the slowest part of the race. It's getting drive-through penalty for car 223 for track limited use. It's one of the Argentinians, I think.
The gap in front is increasing. It's now 11 seconds.
Benjamin Adamian or Martin Matasma.
Okay, Michael. Our refueling window will open after 28 minutes and closes after 34 minutes.
I mean, technically the window never opens. It's open from the start. Because there's enough room in my fuel tank to do 40 minutes. I'm just taking fuel on because we have a mandatory pit stop. And since it's for tires,
the leader has just done a
it's 30 seconds anyways.
154.81.
Though in a race like this, you are really happy that it's a tire race because it might go dry. The rain is projected to stop. This turn here has been a particular pain in my ass. It's Adam Ian who got the penalty. I didn't catch what Cortese did for a lap time. 59.5. I have no one to really compare to because Cortese is much faster than me. Waz is generally much slower. Tires are getting into the zone on pressure. They're still about PSI short though. Car 7, Ayrton! Ayrton Arsenault, my Audi teammate, with a stop-go a drive-through, and probably a time penalty coming up. Jesus. He was looking like he was going to have a real good day if this had been a dry race. And it has really turned against him. I think he qualified like row 6, which is quite good for a bronze driver. Him and Jeremy Reeder were going to have I think a fierce battle for bronze. But now it's a little questionable.
The leader's just done a 154.56.
Tom still hasn't served his drive. I
White
yelled him on
flag.
the
There's an
comms
incident in
here,
turn 14.
because you don't want to see someone get DQ'd for not serving a drive-through. That's lame, but I think this is his last lap to get it, is it not?
The car in front is pitting.
Okay, he's in. A couple others are in too. Turcotte's in. I would not recommend hitting.
That lap was a 159.49.
While I
That's your
don't
best
think
lap
this is
in
going to go
session.
dry tires, I do think we're going to see a lot of difference here in terms of temperature and condition. His drive-through is cleared. I'm up to 15th place. I'm losing a lot of ground to Cortese, so I have to assume I'm slow. I mean, I normally would lose ground to Cortese, but he's pulling away very quickly. Drive-through for track limit 68. That's one of the settlements, I think. Or Reader. It's a BMW, anyways. Because I know they're 66, 67, and 68 are their team numbers. They have a team numerical system, which is cool. It's a nice little thing to do.
The gap behind has now decreased to 1.0. They're faster than us into turn 12.
Gotta be in on my tail.
The leader has just done a
He's only behind me 'cause he got a drive-through.
154.15.
But he is a rival, so it's an interesting one. Car is really messed up. I imagine it's slower. It's going to be a long pit stop. About a third of the way through the race. In terms of lap count expected, but of course. Drive-through cleared by the Momo Fine car, which is still going to be ahead of me. So I think it was, yeah, it was Neil that got the penalty. He's the one Momo Fine. I don't think I really have anything
15th
for.
place.
Adam Ian's doing 57s. So, I'm not going to let him through, but also not going to really take any defensive action. Rain for another 10 minutes is projected. Reducing, and in 30 minutes, which is the end of the race, it'll be dry. Depending on when that is. We could be looking at very different tire conditions, even if they're still wets.
Okay, Michael, hold your nerve. Just keep it smooth. No mistakes.
Pressures are climbing as the heat grows in the tires.
The next car is Sutherland.
Oh, there, yeah, I'm not catching.
You've used half your fuel.
I could, for all I know, be the slowest car on the track right now. Like the car behind me is doing 57, so I did a 59 last time, and probably do a 58 this time, but I don't think... Oh, come on! Come on, Benjamin! That was not needed.
You've picked up a little bit of bodywork damage. There's an incident in turn 15.
Is he waiting? He's waiting. Which is nice of him, I
Car
guess,
left.
but it's
Clear
going to
left.
cost us a Tom! Who's even had a drive through.
16.
I also just don't know why you would have contact there. Seems a bit weird. Like, I know I'm running high traction control. Maybe he's not. Maybe he can... Maybe his car is just, you know, in better shape that he can get around this track with a reduced traction control. Because really shouldn't be a 6 traction control track. It's just, I think my car is pretty damaged. I didn't catch what Tom's lap time was. Qualified behind me and is usually slower, but seems to be showing up in the wet here, at least not making any mistakes. I say that he drifts off a little bit. Third gear corner, but I think
That's 20 minutes to go. Okay,
Speed,
Michael, we're at the halfway
use.
point.
Probably a
Should be
second.
about 14 minutes of fuel remaining.
I have 18 liters of fuel. It's projecting 7 more laps. And we are over halfway through. Got me and go. Let's see him. Oh, he pitted. Makes sense. That's the other thing, is like, if you're in danger of like hitting me like that, just pit. I mean, I know you don't want to undercut here, but I think you kind of have to. Someone way ahead of me, Cortese way ahead of me. No idea. I think I'm in last place amongst the cars that have not pitted. I think I have been for most of the race, outside of Adam Ian and Tom's drive-thrus.
The leader has just done a 153.65.
Probably need to pump them up still a little bit at the pit stop. Although, if it gets drier, chicane, still wet out. Kind of waiting to see if it goes, if it drops to damp. We do have another 10 minutes of rain, so somewhat unlikely. Up with Laws through the third
There's a
sector.
car exit in the pits, heads up.
Yeah, he did a 56. I think I need to get in the pits.
P14.
And add some pressure to the tires and get the car fixed up. So I'm going to pit this lap, I think. Burra comes out ahead of me. He is a quick one. because it's not looking like the track's going to get much drier. Like, if it's still going to rain for another 10 minutes, we're talking about like a stopping of rain with like 6-7 minutes to go. I just don't think it'll dry up that much for it to be that different. And I've been driving this beat up, damaged car for a long time. And if I am, unable to keep up with Tom Was, it's a bad sign.
You're locking your left front, braking for the chicane.
Including Matt Higgs. So it's like I'm not like a full pit stop behind Higgs.
Okay, Michael, there's a car exiting the pits, heads up.
The answer is it's up, way up
speed.
here.
When we exit the pits, we should be in position 16, just ahead of P1.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Might be a little bit much. Let's go 8. And then 2, 3, 4, 5. Because that rear is quite bad. Alright.
15 minutes left.
Fix the car up. I'm going to be... I have no idea where I am. No idea whatsoever. It is going to stop raining in 10 minutes, so the last 4 minutes is going to be clean. Haven't lost a spot yet. Adam Ien will probably overtake me. Yep, there he goes. And then I have no idea who's next. Lost 2 cars. 201 for Naku. 54s are being posted. Oh lord. Yes, so way too slow. This is the downside of being so far behind, like anyone, that you have no idea where your pace is. And
your exit is clear. Watch the white line.
Had I known that people
your brake temps look good.
Had I known that like 54s and 56s were being posted, I would have pitted a long time ago. But hey, you work with what you got. This would be the sort of thing that your crew chief would tell you in real life. But the crew chief app and the ACC crew chief do not really cover that. We'll keep her in 6 traction control until we see what the tires get to. So probably like 2 laps. And if everything feels, comfy, we'll turn it down to 5, maybe even 4. Matassa ahead of me, but he's lapped. Or, well, not lapped by me, but if I catch him, it'll be a blue flag. I think at this point I've only lapped Ayrton Arsenault. William Murrah is behind me. That is a blue flag.
Your front brakes are getting pretty hot.
Signature. All the cars in the pits. Martin. And Beamers. Oh, someone's got a penalty. It's an amateur Beamer. That'd be Reader then. He just picked up a... Your car feels good. Pressures are almost
P17.
perfect right now. Although I'm a little bit alarmed that the pressures are perfect. The lap out of the
On your right,
pits.
clear right.
This suggests that I may have gone too far with the pressure increase. I mean, it's at the bottom end of the pressure window. It's 30 to 31, but I am a little bit worried. Car 4 stop-go penalty. It's a big deal for someone, but I don't remember who car 4 is. So Adam Ian is the car ahead of me. Unlikely to catch him. So, unless somebody comes into it as who hasn't pitted comes into play,
The lead car's pitting.
or a penalty comes into play, I'm gonna have a lonely race here. Sorry, guys. I don't need to have lonely races, but sometimes they happen. I don't want to say I did anything
is now in the lead.
particularly wrong. By the way, Adam Ian's doing did a 55.4, so unless I kick up the pace to like, you know, like 150s or something, it's not going to go super well. I don't really check the fuel marks. I have too much fuel on board because it is based on a 2.7 liter per lap projection.
That lap was a
So I'm doing about the same pace
155.79.
at the end. So yeah, the car being screwed
10
up.
minutes remaining. 10
Could have
minutes.
fixed it earlier. Could have also fixed the pressures. Maybe it needed to be a little less drafty than I'm doing because the pressures are climbing and I think might go over 31 at some point. Which may put me into tire management mode, depending on the heat. Although, as long as the heat isn't the problem, I don't think they'll actually burst. I think the threat with the tires is more delamination than bursting. Does depend on how. Does depend if we end up damp. I think we'll finish under wet. Oh, we're damp already. Okay, never mind then. Will it go greasy? And if it goes greasy, how will the tires hold up? And could someone then, who has not pitted yet, make a clever move like Neil Sutherland? Doubt it, though. Car 4 served their stop-go. I don't know who that is, and I haven't seen them, so I have no idea if that's someone anywhere near me.
That was a 155.75.
5. Where is it? 52, which is about 3 seconds faster than me. So I'm still not very fast. Probably should have gone with the dedicated wet setup, but I thought it was showing the rain letting up in less than 30 minutes, which turned out not to be the case because we're more than 30 minutes into the race now, and it is still raining. But that was Marcello, his car farm, Marcel Letelier, the Nissan. Our Chilean Godzilla loyalist. Call him Chilizilla. New nickname? New nickname. Or God Chili. I feel like Chilizilla. is the answer. Probably not going to catch him. He's quite quick, and that Nissan usually responds pretty well to the rain, I find. Tom Law's in the pits. So that is interesting. Jeremy Reeder's up in 5th place. It's amazing.
17th place.
He's having an amazing race. At least I will overtake Tom. Because, let's be honest, wouldn't have heard the end of that. Left front tire is starting to have a problem. It's going too hot. And the pressure's high. And my phone would like attention. I thought I had you muted, phone. It's my dad. I'm going to be slightly annoyed because he has been told not to call me on Wednesdays. At least not Wednesday evening. It's race time. He knows this.
Blue flag.
Flag for Murrah. Murrah tends to be a fairly impatient driver, and if we're being honest, it's wet, so
Car right, clear right.
5 minutes remaining, 5 minutes left. Okay, Michael, relax, focus, keep it smooth. The leader, Sutherland, is pitting.
it cost me probably about a second, but not really battling with anyone. Time is not important. We're just trying to stay safe. So any blue flag traffic will probably be allowed through without too much issue, if we're being completely honest.
Is the car leaving the pit lane?
Alright, rain has stopped.
16th place.
4 minutes and 10 to go. My tires are a little high. I'm only really worried about the left front, though. Might have to go puddle hunting. Offline. Still damp. So we're still at wet tire optimal, at least. I, of course, have no idea, really, what silvers are ahead of me, what silvers are behind. I know I'm behind Benjamin Adamy, and I know I'm behind Mark Sutherland. I'm behind Zach Martin. These were, pretty much expected, except for maybe Adamy, and I thought I had a shot at him. Had this been dry, but Martin and Sutherland were much faster today. I might be dead last in the silvers. I don't even know if there's one behind me. Because the only cars I know behind me are Waz and Arsenault, my teammate. He's parked it for a while in the pits. I can't say I blame him. He's had a terrible day.
The leader's just done a 152.28.
So 152, 155, a little slow, but not ridiculously slow. These tires are becoming a bit of a problem now. Getting high. Probably 2 laps to go. I think at this point, I mean, I'm catching Marcelo, but I don't think I don't think it matters. I don't think I can catch. I don't
2
think
minutes
I
to go.
can
2
catch.
minutes. Blue flag.
Blue flag, Matt Higgs. It's not going to be through here, Matt. You're a little far away, but I think we can probably get it. There's the slick tire optimum coming out. So if anyone gambled on slicks, they can make a run for a fastest lap.
Blue flag.
And I will hold to the inside. Early.
Left side, clear left.
And fall in behind Mr. Hicks. Drive through for car 101. That's Zach Martin. He's too far ahead, though. I mean, helpful in the sense that he's a very big silver rival, but I think it's just going to put Mark Sutherland up into first place, and he's my other big silver rival, so I don't think that's going to be terribly helpful.
The leader has just done
Way
a
too much fuel.
151.87.
I put in a total of 70 liters for this race, and we're only going to use like 50 some odd. Actually, almost had enough in at the start. It was 45 liters at the start.
Last lap.
Martin might be in trouble. He might have to take that as a time penalty. Although he did just cross the start finish line. Is he in the pits? He did not pit. He's taking the time penalty. Time penalty is worse. Probably also could have dropped the traction control, but like speed does mean nothing right now. It's all about just avoiding any problems. Take my, I mean, admittedly did go forward for the second race in a row.
Looks like the leader has gone off in turn
see
1,
those,
21st. Okay, it's over.
Those tires do not look good at the end of this race. Very hot. They were handling good, though. Podium goes and has its celebration. Simmons, Murrah. 2 wins in a row for Simmons in the wet. Good for him. Not on tracks that I think that the Porsche being super strong at either, so that's pretty cool. Got her way around here in 4th gear. Get myself back to the pits. And I mean, there will be penalties. I mean, we saw a lot of carnage early, so there will be penalties, but I'm not anywhere near. Like, I'm 18 seconds behind Marcelo. I can't really see that. And he's the next car. I can't see anybody really doing it. I'm not going to bother reporting Benjamin. So I don't have any reports. Because he did wait. He did the gentleman's agreement. I'm still annoyed about it just because I think that was a really senseless contact. But we'll live with it. Benj is a good lad too. Took a lot of penalties last season.
Nice job, Michael.
And really cleaned up his act. I mean, not really. Talking to Ayrton. 30-second penalty for Hemian for not serving, but I mean, again, not really.
I had the worst series of events that could happen to you in ACC happen.
Yeah, I saw your name coming up there on the penalty list a lot. Ayrton's bemoaning his race.
Yep.
Can't blame him.
It was
What's your speed limit? in the
terrible.
pits?
I parked the car on like lap 4.
So for me, I mean, the pit stop was a little bit less than ideal. I slowed down too early. Probably should have gone with a full wet setup. The dry stuff came a lot later than expected.
I had a good race,
There's
but
my
I
pit stop.
forgot to change my tires, so I had to go again.
Did anyone try slicks?
I think was with the BMW reader.
So that'll be it.
I'm not sure if he
And,
tried slicks, but he like had his
Kinda
pit stop
ho-hum.
like all the way to the
Kind
end.
of ho-hum.